Hi, my name's Marie. I'm one of the trainers with the Rec. When we were thinking about doing Mindful Mondays, my first thought was that I would like to share with you a couple of extracts from a favourite book of mine called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. It might be a book that you're familiar with, you might not be. For me, it sums up the essence of mindfulness and mindful living. It doesn't ever mention the word mindfulness, but it does help us to understand what it's like to live mindfully and how to get there. The first extract I wanted to read was about awareness of our thoughts. So it's just a sort of really short paragraph that describes this process of watching our own thoughts. So when you listen to a thought, you're aware not only of the thought, but also of yourself as the witness of the thought. A new dimension of consciousness has come in. As you listen to the thought, you feel a conscious presence, your deeper self, behind or underneath the thought, as it were. The thought then loses its power over you and quickly subsides, because you are no longer energizing the mind through identification with it. This is the beginning of the end of involuntary and compulsive thinking. When a thought subsides, you experience a discontinuity in the mental stream, a gap of no mind. At first the gaps will be short, a few seconds perhaps, but gradually they will become longer. When these gaps occur, you feel a certain stillness and peace inside you. This is the beginning of your natural state of felt oneness with being, which is usually obscured by the mind. With practice, the sense of stillness and peace will deepen. In fact, there is no end to its depth. You will also feel a subtle emanation of joy arising from deep within, the joy of being. So this is a way of describing that process that you've probably experienced, where we talk about our thoughts maybe sort of passing through our mind like clouds, and where we sort of notice the gaps in between, and we let the thoughts come and we let them go. It's just kind of another way of describing that really, but one that I find really helpful. And then there's one more extract here which is probably a little more familiar to people that follow that, that process of mindfulness. And this is more about sort of mindful practice in our regular everyday life. Instead of watching the thinker, you can also create a gap in the mind stream by simply directing the focus of your attention into the now. Just become intensely conscious of the present moment. This is a deeply satisfying thing to do. In this way, you draw consciousness away from mind activity and create a gap of no mind in which you are highly alert and aware, but not thinking. This is the essence of meditation. In your everyday life, you can practice this by taking any routine activity that normally is only a means to an end and giving it your fullest attention, so that it becomes an end in itself. For example, every time you walk up and down the stairs in your house or place of work, pay close attention to every step, every movement, even your breathing. Be totally present. Or when you wash your hands, pay attention to all the sense perceptions associated with the activity. The sound and feel of the water, the movement of your hands, the scent of the soap, and so on. Or when you get into your car after you close the door, pause for a few seconds and observe the flow of your breath. Become aware of a silent but powerful sense of presence. There is one certain criterion by which you can measure your success in this practice, the degree of peace that you feel within. I hope you found these little extracts useful. If you're interested in the book, this is my really, really old copy, very well used. It's The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Happy Mindful Monday.